Take a look at this. Welcome to Springworth. My name's Claire and this is the finished Strand Theatre embroidery. In this video we're going to quickly take a look at the steps to get here. I'm going to show you the back stitching and add in the all important details that turn this from pretty much any building into the Strand. And if you forgot what the Strand looks like, I'll pop a picture up here. I did most of the kind of stock standard boring backstitch off camera because a lot of it disappears into the background. That is part of just tidying up the edges, but I did record some of the more interesting elements like the outlines, adding the windows, and I wanted to talk just a little bit about how I choose to backstitch. For me, when it comes to which areas I will backstitch, I make the decision based on either what I want to highlight or what would be closest to the viewer, to the eye sort of thing.
Here, I could have chosen to outline the red of the bricks, but I've chosen to outline the grey because it's the grey that would be closest to the viewer, because it's the roof line you would actually be able to see the edge of.
I also choose based on what element I might want to highlight. So obviously I've gone around the windows because I wanted to highlight them. And then I've added in some details with the backstitch just to give some of that dimension and texture. So the roof line, for example, would be pretty flat without those top lines. It's not actually backstitch. I've actually just taken one thread from top to bottom, but it really gives you that perception of that corrugated roof. The same with the second roof line. Without that line of brick colour, that second roof line just disappeared into that block colour of red. Obviously, choosing the backstitch for the letters was a pretty obvious one. This isn't a perfect rendition of the Strand Theatre. Over its lifetime, it has gone through multiple colourways, multiple colour combinations. This is the colour combination that most appealed to me. So if you were standing on the corner of Summer and Paisley Street in Orange today, this isn't exactly what the building looks like. I am very happy with how it turned out. There's one thing on reflection that I may change if I had the benefit of doing so, and that is the background colour. Now, I chose this background colour because it matches my other local building embroidery. But actually, the contrast in the background colour to the brick makes that stand out much more than the blue and white of the front of the building. There isn't that contrast with the background fabric. I think this is a little bit dominated by the brick. So that's the one thing I would probably change. Okay, so I may have told a little fib. Now it's finished. Look at that. That is a much better frame, a much more in keeping with the grandeur and stature that is this incredible cross stitch. So just look at that beautiful work, even if I do say so myself. If you missed part one, this is the stitching. Part two, we covered just the back stitch and finishing it off, and there will be a very brief part three where hopefully this gets selected for the state competition. So I've got to get through the regional competition and then hopefully for New South Wales state. I did cut the Ada just too small, so there's a small visibility of the stitching there, but it's just a cardboard insert and I've stitched it onto the cardboard just to keep it in place and taut. But overall, really happy. This frame is much better. And yeah, wait and see now, I guess.